Hey guys, what's up? Today I have an RU match. This one is against Colins. I was, looking for a match of the RU, NU, or PU variety because I haven't had actually one of those in a while. I've been looking at my videos, and other than on Wednesdays, it's a lot of OU and UU actually. So decided to go for something a little different. Um, well, in a couple of weeks, Black and White 2 is going to come out in English, and I'll get that, and then probably move into that metagame, which, from what I've been seeing, is really just, the Therian forms, Keldeo and Genesect, which are released for Black and White also, and, Sleep Talk and Stealth Rock and Roost as move tutors, sort of thing like that. So not really that big of a change. I mean, some things might go up or down because they have a new move. I was actually thinking about Cofagrigus in this battle having Rest Talk, which would be interesting, and then like Calm Mind and Shadow Ball, kind of like a Spirit Tomb would, except he usually uses Dark Pulse because it's a little better because nothing is immune to Shadow Ball, or nothing is immune to Dark Pulse. Shadow Ball normal types are immune to, and when you get into +6, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, he leads with Aerodactyl. I'm going to lead with Crustle, sort of expecting that. I'm going to go for Stone Edge because Taunt is super obvious, and he does taunt me, and I hit him with the Stone Edge. He leads with Sash. I'm going to go for X Scissor, and he's going to go for the Stone Edge, which is fine. Doesn't really matter that much. But, yeah, so I end up killing him, and he doesn't get up Stealth Rock, which is pretty cool. I mean, not that big of a deal because other than Crustle, I don't really care. But he goes into his Sigil Lift, which is the combination of Sigil and Glyph. Kind of why I was saying Sigilif before, because it was like Siglyph, but it's Sigil Lift, but whatever. Anyways, I Stone Edge him, and then Taunt wears off, and I'm going to go for Stealth Rocks and Spikes as he hits me with, well, first Cosmic Power, then hits me with Stored Power, expecting me to Stone Edge him again, live it, and then Roost, I guess, a bunch. I don't know, whatever. He burns me with Psycho Shift, which kind of sucks, but not a big deal. Gonna go to Cofagrigus because I can kind of just Calm Mind up with him, except now that he already has 2 boosts, I'm kind of way behind, and he's really faster than me, like, by a lot. So that first one does a little bit less than half, which I'm kind of worried about. But it's not a big deal. I go for Calm Mind. I'm going to hit him with a Shadow Ball here as he goes for another stored power, or sorry, Cosmic Power. Stupid moves, both ending in power. I want to try a more offensive Sigilif because I do have like this identical set, as well as the one I prefer to use, which has Whirlwind and Leftovers instead of Flame Orb and Thing, because it's like I have Magic Guard anyway, so unless it's Sleep, I don't care about getting Statist. It's not like it's like Guts or something like that, or Poison Heal, so it's whatever. But I want to try, yeah, like a Air Slash, Psychic Calm Mind version, where it's not like about standing in here all day. It's about boosting once and like kind of sweeping, because its stats are pretty good. Its speed is what, like 97 or something. Either way, my Shadow Ball gets a crit and ends up killing him. So that was a bunch eventually going to happen. That's generally how Cosmic Power stallers, whether it be Clefable or Snorlax or Sigilif, or if you're stalling, you're probably gonna die to a crit. That's generally how it happens. That's why it's there, because or else you're just looking at always getting to +6 and always being safe. But he goes to Clefable. I'm not really worried about Clefable at all, because unless he has Toxic, which if he does, I was a little worried about, but then I'm like, it's kind of an odd enough move to not assume he has it. So I'm just going to let him Toxic me if he has it, but he doesn't. He switches out to his Superior, goes for Glare, so I automatically know basically what set it is. Either it's Giga Drain, Glare, Sub Leech Seed, or Dual Screens, and since he doesn't have Leftovers, he's going to be Dual Screens, and he uses Light Screen here to prove that fact. So I'm not too worried either way, because it's not a big deal. It's actually weird because at this point I realize he actually has a Fire, Water, Grass core of starters, being the Typhlosion for Alligator, and I guess he didn't want to use Meganium, so he used Superior. Superior kind of is... I mean, I think Meganium's 100 defenses and 80 HP, so I think it's a little more defensive, but Superior's way faster and gets Glare. Doesn't get recovery like synthesis, or it might, but no one ever uses it. I don't think it gets it. But yeah, otherwise Superior is pretty much better. I mean, again, they're almost the exact same Pokemon. It's just slightly less defense, 95s instead of 100s, and way higher speed, like way higher. It's like 60 or something versus 113, I think. I don't know. I know Superior's annoyingly fast for NU. Anyways, he goes into for Alligator. I get paralyzed, then I get flinched here with this waterfall, and then I believe I'm going to get paralyzed next turn, making me very annoyed because I am trying to not do nothing against this Feraligatr, and he's not letting me do things against this Feraligatr. But the thing is, I am, I think +2 at this point, but he does have late screen. I think I might be +1 or +3? Whatever. Doesn't really matter. I'm trying to go for the Will-O-Wisp because I want to burn him because I don't think Fagrigus is going to live long enough, especially after like this many. Like, I'm like, yeah, at this point, whatever, just burn him. But then he has Lumberry too, which I probably should have expected after seeing no Life Orb, but, you know, I don't know. I've seen weirder. I mean, I have seen Resto Chesto, Dragonlance Waterfall, and Earthquake. I've seen Leftovers, as weird as that is. But, yeah, Lumberry, I guess, works. But either way, I get him burned eventually because he goes for the Dragonlance because he knows he's not going to kill me with a Waterfall. And then he actually doesn't even kill me with the +2 Waterfall. But now he's burned, and now he's kind of not very strong, and I'm not too worried about it. Even though I really shouldn't have been in the first place. I should have just gone for Shadow Balls because that would have done some damage. And the thing is that Lilligant this is my max HP, max defense, bold, like, defensive Lilligant that just sits in here and gets, like, a bunch of Quiver Dances up and then sweeps. So I really, unless he had Ice Fang, which I'm like, whatever, I can still take. That's fine. I really should have just went for Shadow Ball, but it ends up working out, sort of. I actually, in the chat, because I spent 4 turns trying to burn him, well, 5 actually, because on the first turn I did burn him, but then Lumberry, and then I burned him again. I was like, and stay on fire! And then he switches in Heal Bells, and I'm just like, why? You're supposed to stay on fire. But, yeah, Clefable can't really do anything to me. I'm, Wish Protect. I'm expecting him to have Seismic Toss, as most do. And, I'm wary of the Encore. That's why I was like, after my first Quiver Dance, I went for the Giga Drain instead of just Quiver Dancing up, because I wanted to, if he wants to Encore me, I'd rather obviously be locked into Giga Drain than Quiver Dance. But it doesn't seem to be having that move. So it's probably Seismic Toss, and he does actually use it a little later on. So it is obviously definitely Seismic Toss. But basically, now that I have so many boosts, and the fact that he keeps going to Clefable, I don't understand why he's just letting me boost up. I mean, I do only have 16 Giga Drains, but it's like, that's a lot. So I'm really just kind of boosting and, like, whatever. Because, yeah, at this point, I've given up. I'm like, he probably doesn't have Encore. I mean, generally people don't like to carry 4 status moves. They like to have an attack, unless you're like a Skarmory or a Blissey, who usually they have attacks, but, it is possible there are sets for them that don't have attacks. And actually, the last battle I had a Clefable that didn't have any attacks. It had Rain Dance, Encore, Wish Protect, but, anyways, I go for HP Rock because I'm pretty sure he's going to switch into Typhlosion because it's the only thing. And if I had HP Fire, assuming he has Flash Fire, which is the unreleased Dream World ability, along with, because for some reason the Gen 2 starters are the only ones that don't have release, but it does get Flash Fire. But, either way, it doesn't really matter. I have enough special defense and speed to outspeed him and hit him again and whatever. But it is HP Rock because hitting fire types is more important than hitting grass types. And Ferrothorn, really. But Ferrothorn is not a big deal because Ferrothorn can't do anything to me because it usually has like Leech Seed and Thunder Wave, and I don't really care about those. But, yeah, so I just kill Typhlosion, and then at this point, he basically can't do anything to me. He can hit me with a couple Seismic Tosses, but I have leftovers and, like, a +5 Giga Drain, soon to be +6, and then I can just kill him and Feraligatr, and even Aqua Jet's not going to do anything to me, even if he had it, which he doesn't, because I don't think it's legal with Dragon Dance, is it? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't... Or is that Swords Dance and Aqua Jet? One of the two. I don't really know. Whatever. But yeah, so basically, Lilligant just kind of sat in here after Cofagrigus just kind of sat in here after Crustle just kind of sat in here. As for the Sigilif, I was actually thinking of switching to Gallade and tricking him at some point. Just the thing is, I needed to do it quicker because then he would likely not. And then I'm like, well, maybe I can go in when he needs to roost. But then I'm like, wait, then he's just gonna, like, I could just kill him, and I don't know, whatever. I mean, in the end, like I said, he got critted and he died. That's usually how it happens. And then other than that, yeah, Lilligant just kind of took him over. He used Clefable way too much. He should have went to Typhlosion right away. I know generally they're fast, and after one Quiver Dance, I'd outspeed him unless he's Scarfed, or I could put him to sleep, which I guess he was expecting when he switched to Clefable. But then again, well, no, I probably wouldn't have used Sleep Powder because he was in on a water type that was already burned, so I would have just killed it. But after I didn't Sleep Powder, he should have went to, I don't know. He basically, he predicted to be the wrong set. If I was that other set, it would have worked out a little differently. But because I was the defensive, not having Sleep Powder set, Typhlosion switching immediately was the right move. Because again, even after one Quiver Dance, he's still faster. He can hit me with Fire Blast because, you know, he wouldn't use Eruption because he'd be down 37.5%. And that would do it much damage. And he could then, well, I mean, that's the thing. He didn't really have anything to really live anything because Superior was dying to hazards once he comes back in, and Clefable couldn't do anything, and Feraligatr couldn't do anything because I was sped up. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I'll see you all next time on Monday.